Welcome to Age Friendly Cleveland. My name is Mary McNamara, and I'm the director of the Cleveland Department of Aging. Across our country, we have what we call an aging network of services because no one division of government, agency, hospital system, or faith-based group provides all the services an older adult might need to age successfully. As examples, some older adults may need transportation or in-home health care, modifications to the home, or resources for staying engaged after retirement. It is our hope with this Age Friendly Cleveland series that you might learn more about the resources right here in Cleveland. This next segment is about one of the trusted agencies we work closely with every day to make Cleveland an age-friendly city.
Hello and welcome to Age Friendly Cleveland. I'm your host, Dan Monroe. Today we're talking about fire safety with the Senior Power Program. My guest today, Captain Tyree Thompson, Cleveland Division of Fire, Public Education, and Lieutenant Chris Jarus, also with Public Education. Gentlemen, welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Tell me a bit about yourselves. How long have you been with the fire department?
I've been with the division 22 years, almost 23 years in November.
It's an exciting job. You see a lot, you learn a lot, you do a lot.
Oh yeah, I love it. Tell anybody it's the best job in the world that doesn't pay you $1 million.
You, Lieutenant, how long have you been with us?
I've been on the fire department 5 years, so I'm relatively new in our vastly dynamic department.
Talk about public education. What's the role of that?
Our public education unit, there's 3 of us down there right now. We go out, we talk to schools, do a little bit of recruitment. Senior Power we're highly involved with. We go to several aging communities and just talk about fire safety, what to do in case of an emergency, how to prevent fires, and just make everybody aware because so many things are changing so often anymore. Just technology alone has changed what we do now in tactics and everything like that.
Let's talk a bit about Senior Power. What's the fire department's role in that program?
We partner with the Department of Aging, with the city, and we just go to different senior community buildings and things like that. And we just give fire safety presentations because most times people that, are a little older, they have, some of the older views of how to put out fires, what to do and things like that. So we try to get them up to speed of what's changed and how they can keep themselves safe.
Well, the city of Cleveland is very dedicated, as you know, to our seniors, and of course, keeping them safe. Talk about these programs, why they're necessary to help our seniors out.
A lot of these programs, we offer them, and we're just trying to get the word out. We partner with the Red Cross to get out free smoke detectors to any resident that might need them. We can come out and install different types of smoke detectors that you need, and just, again, it's just a matter of making sure everybody's aware of this is what not to do most of the time. Because we're still getting people, we could put a wet rag on a cooking fire. Well, that's not really what we do anymore. Things like that. And so we're trying to get that word out, so then it helps us in the long run. It obviously helps the resident.
Captain, with your experience, what do you see as the number one cause of fires?
The number one cause of fire in the city of Cleveland, as well as nationally, is cooking fires. It's been that way for quite some time.
How can we prevent these fires from happening, especially in the kitchen? What are some different ways that we can do for our seniors to prevent fires breaking out, either accidentally or however?
Unattended cooking is one of the major causes. People are a little older, none of us are getting younger, they walk away from the stove and get on the phone and then forget that they were actually cooking. So if they walk away from the stove, you can turn the eye off, move it to an eye that was not burning. We also tell seniors that if they do walk away from the stove for any reason, that they take like a pot holder or a spoon or something like that to remind them that they are cooking.
Kind of like tying the finger on the string to remember something.
Yep.
Well, what if they come back and they have the skillet out there and there's a fire going in the skillet? Do not throw water on that, right? How would you put that out?
No, you do not put water on it. We tell people to, if they can safely take a metal lid and slide it from the side, over it, just to set it on top of it, just to smother it. A lot of people have misconceptions about salt, flour, things like that. Those things, you get too close to the fire, and if, dexterity, get a little older, you drop it in there, you may, cause a splash, and you can get severely burned by just doing improper things to put out a cooking fire.
The best line of defense for saving yourself from a fire is smoke detector.
Absolutely. Smoke detectors, by far. There was a fire this morning over on the west side today that we just had, and it was already on the news that she saved her life because of the smoke detector, because she heard it beeping, and that's what got it. So we got to make sure they're working and in working order.
Well, absolutely make sure they're working. A lot of these smoke detectors take 9-volt batteries.
Yeah.
They die.
Yeah.
What's the rule of thumb to keep changing your batteries, to keep remembering to do that?
We do change your clock, change your battery. Actually, the ones that we hand out now and the ones that they are putting out now, they have 10-year lithium batteries. So you don't even have to change the battery. It takes 10 years, for this battery to go dead. If your smoke detectors are 10 years or older, we recommend changing them. But we also recommend checking the battery monthly, and if you do have 9-volt batteries, to change it when you change your clocks.
You mentioned that you hand out. How can our seniors get a smoke detector?
It's very simple. We got a phone number here. It's 216-361-5535. You call the Red Cross. They'll ask you a couple questions, and they'll send it out to the Cleveland Fire Department. We'll disperse them out, and we'll actually come and install them for you at no cost.
And I see you brought some samples here, but this is really interesting. What about for our seniors that maybe have hearing loss, maybe low vision, and they might not be able to hear that smoke detector? We have some items here to look at.
Yes, we have several different models. This is a strobe detector here that it flashes a bright white strobe light if it detects. It's actually a smoke detector also, so it teams up with both. You have both lines of defense on this one. So if you're hearing impaired, you can see that when it's flashing. We also have for other people who have hearing disabilities, we have a vibrating smoke detector here. This syncs up with your actual smoke detector, so when your smoke detector goes off, this recognizes it and it'll actually vibrate. There's a little mouse that goes underneath the mattress, and it'll vibrate and wake you up in the morning, or whenever it is.
Whenever a fire should break out.
Typically they're in the morning, in the wee hours of the mornings.
Well, you also deal with, for our seniors, other safety issues besides fires, falls. Let's say someone's using a ladder. What are some safety issues they should know if they have a ladder? They might have to climb up a lot. Talk about that.
We don't recommend they climb ladders. I mean, I tell any of our seniors, we're here to help. We're here to make sure they're safe. So we do public service calls. I mean, we're not going to come and clean your gutters or anything like that, but we don't want seniors on ladders trying to check smoke detectors or change batteries. Call us. We will help. We will check them. We will make sure they're safe, and we have thousands of batteries that we can disperse to our citizens here in Cleveland.
Such a great thing, you guys. You're a great service, especially for our citizens. Going back to when fires happen, you need to have some kind of preventative ideas for the people living at home on how to stay safe. Some of that involves developing an escape plan.
Yes.
Talk about the importance of developing an escape plan and practicing that.
We try to have the citizens draw up an escape plan, maybe a diagram of their home. We usually, and nationally, it's 2 ways out of each room to make sure that you get out safe. It may be a window, it could be a door or something like that. We recommend trying to practice it twice a year. Maybe when you change your batteries in your smoke detector. If you live in an apartment, we recommend counting doors to your exit. So in case it's too smoky or something, you can count the doors to the exit. And we also recommend looking at the fire escape plan in apartment buildings, and also making sure that you are not propping open doors that go to stairwells and things like that, because those doors are made to be kept closed to keep smoke out of the hallways.
With that escape plan, Lieutenant, do you want to try and get to a certain time to get out of the house? Is there a window of time to get out safely, or?
There is, because our building construction is changing. Again, with technology changing, we are now going down these newer homes. We have less time to get in, and it becomes less tenable, is how we term it, where it gets too hot, too smoky, too fast for us. For residents, if you feel anything, it's getting out of control, get out of the house the best you can. Close the door behind you. That way it'll help contain that fire to that room. And we just get out, call us. That's what we get paid to do. That's what we're coming here for.
Yeah.
We're going to come in, put that fire out.
You know, I remember growing up as a kid, they had a lot of PSAs about what would happen if you get if you catch on fire.
Yeah.
One of that was stop, drop, and roll. Is that still the main tactic we're teaching today?
We teach it, but usually it's to like the smaller children. Just rare instances that maybe your clothes will catch on fire, but mostly it's prevention. Just knowing what not to do. You know, we tell them not to play with matches, things like that. Like I said, it's just all about prevention for us at this stage because, like I say, if we can prevent it, then we don't have to come back and revisit some of the tragedies that we've seen in the city of Cleveland.
You go back to houses. I know we have a lot of our seniors living in apartment buildings. They might not be able to make a plan like that. What should they know if they're living in an apartment building and, well, the worst happens, it catches on fire?
Like I said, count the doors. If you are in your apartment and you feel the door with the back of your hand, if it's warm, do not open the door. Fill any cracks that you can with a rug or whatever you have and get to a window. Take a flashlight or something like that because we're coming and to alert us that you're in that apartment. Also, call 911. Say, hey, I'm trapped in apartment so-and-so, so we know where to go. If it is like you touch the door with the back of your hand and it's cool, you can open the door very slowly and maybe stay down low and just see if you can escape to a stairwell. If you can get to the stairwell, that's the best place for you. We use the stairwells. We do not use elevators, and we don't want our citizens in them. They all should shut down if there is a fire. But if you go to the stairwell, say, and you are in a wheelchair or you are unable to go up and down the stairs, that's where we're coming in at, and we're going to find you and we're going to see you in that stairwell.
You know, I think, too, it's important to say that when you're trying to get out of whatever building you're in, you're not expendable. Your items are.
Yeah.
Forget about your clocks, your cat, not your cat, but your material things, right? Just try and get out as best you can.
Absolutely. We like to preach, get out and stay out. Don't go back into the house for any reason. Pets, 9 out of 10 times, they're sitting on the front. If it's a house, they're sitting on the front lawn already waiting for everybody else. Yeah. Sometimes they can't get out, unfortunately, but we end up they find refuge inside themselves.
Yes.
So they're going to go where it's not smoky, where it's cooler, so we'll find them. As far as material things, let them go. You're irreplaceable.
I know people, for whatever reason, they'll get a minor burn, or they might get, maybe cooking might burn themselves. Talk about tips. Talk about ways you can treat minor burns these days.
If you get burned, best thing to do, go to the hospital, because what could happen, you can get an infection. It might not heal appropriately. Just the biggest thing, if you feel anything, just go to the hospital. Let's call for EMS if it's a bad burn, if it's a 3rd degree or something really bad, or find your own way to the hospital. But you definitely want to get checked out. The self remedies of treating things is kind of going to the wayside now.
No butter, things like that.
Yeah, it
the
just
main
causes
thing you
the
can do is
infection.
to cool it. Maybe run it on some cold water for a few minutes. Use a sterile dry cloth and just loosely wrap it. Aloe vera helps a lot. If you do get blisters on it, don't break them. Let them, break themselves, because like Lieutenant Jarus said, you can get an infection. And if you do feel like you have any symptoms of an infection, some warmth in that area, maybe some fever, like he said, go to the hospital and get checked out immediately.
Fires can happen any time, any way. You brought something here today. A lot of our seniors might have some older type of wiring that might plug many things into one outlet. This thing looks very scary. What are we looking at here? It looks
this
very
is our
scary.
little show and tell here. There's a lot of things that we like to show on this. Here we got frayed wiring. This is garbage. If you see a cord like this, whether it be an extension cord, power strip, anything like that, it needs to go to the garbage for sure. You could see it was kind of charred here on the plug, so it got overloaded. What happened there? That's what happens when it gets overloaded. It starts melting everything. Mainly, these are not made to plug your refrigerator, a heater, a stove.
No.
that all needs to go straight directly into the wall, not into these things. These are great for small electronics, TVs, computers, things like that, but you can't plug this in and then do your toaster, microwave, everything like that. And if you don't have enough outlets and you're not using some, unplug it. That's the best way. Then there's no current going to that appliance, unplug it, and you're safe then.
Yeah. Captain, will the fire department come out and maybe do a safety inspection of your home if someone comes and asks for it?
Yes, yes. You can call whatever station is closest to you, or you can call downtown to our headquarters, which is 216-664-6800, and we can have whatever station is near you come out and just, hey, check my smoke detectors, check these the ducts and things like that takes carbon monoxide out of my house and make sure I'm safe. I mean, we have no problem doing that. That's our job. We want to make sure that we prevent fires instead of always having to put them out. We'd rather prevent it.
You know, I get this question from our senior citizens a lot. When they call an ambulance for help, they're kind of curious, why is a fire truck dispatched at the same time too? Is there a reason for that?
We're all trained EMT basics, but we do have a great amount of us that are paramedics as well. There just happens to be more fire units right now than EMS units, so we're first responders. We also have some of our engine companies that are ALS units, which is advanced life support, so they can do advanced interventions. They have drugs and things like that EMS may have. We just can't transport inside of our fire truck. So we just tend to get there a little bit, sooner than EMS, who does a great job as well. But it's just more of us, and we're available to be first responders.
Well, gentlemen, I got to tell you, you guys are just doing a great job. Cleveland Fire Department, I'll say it's the best in the land.
Thank you.
Just simply the best. And you do a lot of good work to keep us all safe.
We appreciate it.
But you need people. It's not just on you. You need people joining in. Talk about recruiting initiatives. You're always trying to bring people in, I take it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Actually, I just left a meeting for a recruiting initiative. If people have questions, they can call 216-664-6388. That's our recruitment unit, and that is a joint recruitment unit. So it's for fire, police, and EMS. But currently, we are trying to hire more females, more minorities. As you know, we just had our first female firefighter hired in 29, 30 years. If you know anybody, have them call that number or just contact the Cleveland's recruitment unit. They have a Twitter account, they have Instagram, and I think they have Facebook. We're always looking for qualified people to join the team, and we'd be happy to welcome them in.
All right. Well, Captain Tyree Thompson, Lieutenant Chris Jarus, thank you so much for joining me today. We got a lot of great information out there today. And again, if people want more information, let's get that phone number out again.
Yeah. You can call our unit, which is 216-664-6386 or 216-664-6387. That's our public education unit. You can contact Lieutenant Jarus, Captain Thompson, and we also have Lieutenant Daphne Tyus, who is one of our female firefighters as well.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, you've been watching Age Friendly Cleveland. I'm Dan Monroe. We'll see you next time.